These are the science ambassadors to our school, and they also compete in a robotics competition. But what's super cool about FIRST, and I encourage everybody to look up firstinspires.org. It's not like I get paid from them, but you would think I would. They're phenomenal. It is a wonderful organization that is worldwide, and they really instill values in these kids that are kind of missing today. So the core values are impact, inclusion, discovery, teamwork, innovation, and fun. And those 6 core values are really, really important to our team. So important that they've only been in existence 3 years, and every year we have won the Core Values Award, and that's huge because we're competing against teams that have been around for decades. So this team has really just excelled, and they even made it to states. We made it to states last year. It was virtual, whatever. But we made it to real states this year, and we went to Niceville, Florida. Yeah, look it up. It's almost in Alabama. But thankfully, Councilmember Hatton helped our crusade to get there because we had to drive, and our parents really stepped up. I want to recognize them. They've been phenomenal. Because we have to raise money to compete, and we don't get money necessarily from the school system. So we are super thankful for everything that you've done, and we actually have something that we would like to give to you. I don't know who has it. Here we go. So I don't know how we do it. Okay, so we'll just go here. You can go right over there. Go ahead. So it is a plaque over by the stairs. Sorry, I'm very nervous. It's a plaque recognizing her help to get us to the state competition. It's not just to get to states, it's to keep the program going. So we're super excited that we've already chosen the team for next year, and we're gonna hit the ground running. So with her help, we're able to do that. Go ahead and go over, guys.
Everybody
So
get a
thank you
picture.
guys so much. Oh, me too. Sorry.
Teachers get in too.
Yes, thank you.
Great job. Of course.
I'll make it fast.
I just want you to know that this team, 3 years ago, Dr. Pinder? 3 years. They got the scholarship from the town's educational fund. That started this 3 years ago. We gave them the $500 scholarship from our education fund, which started this team and started all of this. So we've been a big influence on them.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you very much. We'll get that one on Facebook tonight, maybe, right? Thank you. That's nice. Thank you for coming. That's great. Let me see.
It's really cute.
Wonderful. Thank you. Boy. Okay. Okay, the second presentation, Mr. Ackerman, I'll turn it over to you for a budget update.
How can I follow that? I mean, seriously, why do I have to come up after that?
Yeah,
That is
but
so unfair. So
last week-
unfair. Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Bill Ackerman. I am your Budget and Finance Director. Happy to be here tonight. I'm going to go through some numbers with you tonight on the second quarter of the general fund for our fiscal year 2022 budget. A couple of quick things I do want to note first. First, on tonight's council meeting agenda, we have our second reading of our second budget amendment. So the information in there will not be included in this presentation since this is as of March 31st. And also, it is worth noting to you that we are not using any one-time revenue sources or general fund reserves for any ongoing operations or any ongoing costs. So I did want to point that out to start. So to begin, what you see in front of you is a snapshot of the general fund and our revenues. The first column are the different revenues we have, followed by the amended budget, the actual second quarter results, and the percentage received. If you take a look at, there's 2 columns on there, the 2 rows in there that are blue. I'm going to kind of focus on those first and go from there. So first, our ad valorem or property tax revenue. As you can see, as of March 31st, we're at 95%. That is expected to be. Most most property owners like to pay their taxes early, you get your discount, and so forth. So we're at 95%, and at that point, we feel we're in good shape for the rest of this fiscal year. The next item I want to go over is the local utility and other taxes. So what we have in front of us here are a couple of graphs. I'm going to kind of go through what we're doing here since it's a little new. So the first one you see there is local option fuel tax. And within local option fuel tax, there's two bars in there. The one on your left is blue, and that one represents how much we've received through March 31st, and the one in red is the amount that's budgeted. So if you're looking at the local option fuel tax, you can see through March 31st, we've collected 4 months worth of collections, and it's about 38% of the budget at that point. The 4 months is normal at this time because what happens is, as you'll see as we go through more of these revenue sources, we don't have a full 6 months in by March 31st. A lot of these lag. It's not a problem for us. We do get the monies by the end, a little after year end, but you'll see as we go through this, we don't typically have 6 months by March 31st. But it is worth noting we're at 38% for the first 4 months, which if you take a look at it, we should be about 33% after 4 months, so local option fuel tax, we're doing okay on. FP&L utility tax, we had collected 5 months worth at about 40%. Slightly lower than budgeted, but we're going to keep monitoring that and hopeful it will be okay as the year goes on. And lastly, in this category, we have communication services taxes, which we've collected 4 months at about 38%, which is a little more overall than what we expected in the budget. So on this next slide here, as you saw earlier on, it's the snapshot. The next category we're going to focus on is permits, fees, and assessments. And as you can see overall, we're at 70% of the budget. So what does that consist of? So first, building permits. I've been showing you before basically the amount of months we've been collecting some of our revenue sources because we collect 12 per month. Building permits is a little different. We collect revenue during the course of the year. So as of March 31st, we were at 74% of budget. And actually, as of right now, we've actually collected over 100% of the budget. So building permits have done very well this year, and they've been very busy. The FP&L franchise fee, we had collected 4 months as of March 31st, so we're at 34%, which is good, which is pretty much on target. Solid waste commercial franchise, we were at about 38% of 5 months collected, a little lower than we expected at that point, but we'll continue to monitor it. And then the fire assessment, which is similar to our ad valorem, we were at 97% for the year, as again, a lot of people pay their property taxes and their tax bill earlier in the year, and that includes getting your fire assessment paid. So the next category we're going to go over is intergovernmental revenue, which overall is at about 53%. Two of those large categories within there are state revenue sharing, which we have collected 6 months worth as of March 31st. We're at about 52%, so slightly above budget. And we also collected 5 months worth of our half-cent sales tax, which actually is over 52%, about 52%, so we're actually ahead of that in that category for our half-cent sales tax. The next category I want to cover are charges for services, fines, and forfeitures. And at this point, in total, we're at about 51% for the fiscal year as of March 31st. We have contractual services with Southwest Ranches in which we supply police and fire services. At this point, we've collected the first full 6 months of billings. We've collected the 6 months from them, so we're on target there. EMS transport revenue has done pretty well this year. After the 6 months, we're at about 60%. Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Arts, they're about 35% after 6 months. In talking with Mr. Pullman, we seem to have the summer, we have summer events coming in over the summer, we have summer camp, we have aquatic classes, and pool admissions. So we are hopeful that we will hit budget. We will continue to work with Mr. Pullman on that, but we're hopeful that we'll get to budget by the end of the fiscal year. And core fines, we're at 21% after 4 months. That's definitely on the low end. With COVID and things that are going on for the last few years, core fines have gone down significantly. The flip side of that is we don't have people going to court, so we have savings on the expenditure side, so there is somewhat of an offset there. And for the fiscal year 2023 budget, we have made some adjustments to the core fines. The next category is miscellaneous and other. And as you can see there, we're at 1%, and we're going to go over why we're at that in this position. So within this category, we have interest and investment income. This is a little tricky, interest and investment income. Now, right now, we're at a place where it's not very desirable, but it's also not unexpected. Right now, we're at about a negative $1.8 million through the first 6 months of the fiscal year for this. Now, what happens is we have securities that are held in our portfolio, and those securities will fluctuate based on interest rate changes. So when the interest rates were going down over the last several years and kind of staying steady, our portfolio was doing well. But now, as you know, interest rates are skyrocketing. They're increasing very quickly, and when that happens, the value of your portfolio goes down. These are not actual losses. These are they're unrealized losses in our portfolio, as we had unrealized gains in previous years. So what happens is, like for example, we have bonds in our portfolio. So because interest rates are going up, the value of those bonds may be going down, but if we hold them to maturity, they break even. It's a break-even value. So overall, it's something we're going to continue to monitor. Again, it's not something that we're happy with, but it's something that it was not unexpected either based on the economy we're in right now. Also in this category, we have interfund transfers in. We have, in the first budget amendment that we did through CIP, we closed out a bunch of projects in the Capital Projects Fund. That money was about $500,000. We're budgeted to bring that over. We haven't done it yet, which is why you don't see anything there in red, but we will do so over the next few months. We also have a contributions from enterprise operations, and that's based on the study that was done years ago for the water and sewer fund. They contribute a certain amount of money to the general fund for administrative fees. So over the 6 months, we've collected 50% of that. And the last category here is from reserves. And from reserves, as a friendly reminder, as I typically mention, you will never see any actual going against reserves because it's money we've collected in previous years. But what this near $13 million amount is being set aside for is general fund reserves to be used towards the capital projects, the CIP plan that we have. We're going to transfer that money over to the general fund. And also it includes, before this fiscal year began, we weren't sure how the building division was going to do. So we had budgeted to use $2.5 million of their reserves in case they were not able to meet their budget. As I mentioned earlier on, they did much better than expected and have met their budget and actually exceeded it for the year. So we won't be utilizing any of that, but that's what that category consists of. And lastly, in the miscellaneous and other, it's worth noting that it's not on this chart here, but concession revenues based on a new contract that was brought forward to town council. We're doing very, very well in that category. We should exceed budget by the end of the year. And also shelter rentals and field rentals are also doing very well. So that was our revenue side of the general fund. Now we're going to jump over to the expenditure and take a look at our snapshot here. So again, the first column are the different types of expenditures that we have. The second column is the amended budget. Third column is the actual results through March 31st, and the final column is the amount percentage expended. Overall, all the different departments and divisions in the general fund are doing well. They're at budget or below budget, with one exception, which is risk. But that's understandable because for risk, we pay the full premium at the beginning of the fiscal year. So it's not something we pay monthly or quarterly. We pay at the beginning of the year, so that is expected to be the case. So taking a look at our personnel services, as we know, personnel is not just salaries, it's health benefits, it's workers' comp, it's payroll taxes, and so forth. So looking at that, we're at 44% expended as of March 31st. It is worth noting, I know March 31st is 6 months into the year, so it seems as if we should have spent 50% of our budget. If you look at the payroll cycles and the payroll weeks and everything else, we're technically at 45.1% is what we should have expended as of March 31st. So overall, on the personnel services in the general fund, we're a little below budget, which is good news. We are a little higher in the overtime side, but that's because we have vacancies, so we have some savings on the salary side that we utilize on the overtime side. Next, on the operating expenditures, you can see we're at 39% expended through March 31st. So again, we're doing okay in that category. Some of those expenses include professional services, IT charges, contractual services, electric, fuel, water, and so forth. But overall, that category is doing okay. Capital outlay and grants, we spent about $73,000, or about 10% to date. Some of that has to do with IT-related charges for our fire department, as well as some capital outlay from our public works department. Debt service, we're at 7%. That number will change, unfortunately, but a lot of our principal payments are not due till July and August, so we have a schedule that will be at 100% by the end of the year. And lastly, for other uses, we have spent about $3.7 million to date. $3.1 million of that is the payment made by the general fund to the Community Redevelopment Agency, or CRA, for the tax increment financing. Another $500,000 and change was monies we've set aside to our debt service fund because we just recently issued bonds in December. So we had to transfer money to our newly created debt service fund to pay for those for the new bonds that we've issued. Also coming up for the rest of this year, that number will increase because we need to transfer the monies that I talked about earlier on for the capital projects. The general fund will, using reserves, we're going to transfer that out. And last thing also is at the last budget amendment, we amended the budget to loan the general fund from the general fund to the CRA $4 million, and we haven't done that official transfer yet as of March 31st. So I know this is very exciting, and we're coming to the end. We're halfway through the year based on these numbers, 2 quarters down, 2 to go. We will continue to monitor the budget. Right now, things are going okay. We're going to continue to look at our contracts. We know, again, inflation is kicking our butt, and we got to pay close attention to that and continue to do so. And with that, Mayor, I'll turn it back over to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Does anybody have any questions or comments? Very good. Thank you very much. We appreciate it. It's always good to have these updates so that we know where we are and where we're going. We'll move on to the consent agenda. We have a number of things to add and table. We need to add number 21 to the consent agenda. There was a Scrivener's error on a resolution that came to us at the last meeting. So may I have a motion to add this to the consent agenda?
So moved to add it to
Second it.
agenda.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That's unanimous. Thank you. Now, the applicant has requested to table all of the items having to do with Sunshine gasoline to September 21st. From the consent agenda, they're asking to, can we do them both together? Okay. Do them separately? Okay. So I need a motion to table number 10, the site plan, to September 21st.
Motion to table number
Second.
10 to September 21st.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That's unanimous. We have number 11, which is a plat for Sunshine Gasoline. I have a motion to table that until September 21st.
Motion to table number 11 plat to September 21st.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That's unanimous. Then under public hearings, we want to table 14, which is an ordinance on a vacation of right-of-way, to September 21st. May I have a motion?
So moved. Number
Second.
14.
All those in favor say, do we need a roll call on the public hearing items?
The voice vote is fine.
What?
Voice vote is fine.
Okay, thank you. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That's unanimous. Number 15, a special permit. May I have a motion to table
Motion.
until September 21st?
Motion to table special permit number 15 to September 21st.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That's unanimous. Variance number 16 on Sunshine Gasoline. May I have a motion to table
Motion to
until
table.
September 21st?
Motion to table 16,
Second.
variance.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That's unanimous. And may I have a table to,
Table.
may I have a motion to table variance number 17 until the 21st of
Motion to
September?
table 17 variance.
Is there a second? Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That's unanimous. Now we have taken care of the entire public hearing,
Almost.
almost, yeah.
I'm sorry, Mayor.
Took care of that. Okay, now let's go to the consent agenda. I'm pulling 1, 2, and 3. Vice Mayor, do you have anything?
No, Mayor, thank you.
Mr. Lewis?
I'm good, Mayor, thank you.
You all right? Susan?
Just the new business,
You what?
just pulling new business, I don't think it needs to be pulled, just,
No, that's not on the consent.
that's it.
Okay, may I have a motion to approve the consent agenda minus 1, 2, and 3?
Motion to approve consent agenda minus 1, 2, and 3.
Is there a
Second.
second? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That's unanimous. Thank you very much. Okay. Now we're going to go to item number 1, which is the EMS proclamation, which will be read by Vice Mayor. Can I have a motion first to approve it?
So move to approve proclamation for EMS week.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That's unanimous. And Assistant Chief Dan Moran is going to be accepting that.
And his,
Oh, and his entourage, excuse me.
Whereas emergency medical services is a vital public service, and whereas the members of Davie Fire Rescue are ready to provide life-saving care to those in need 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and whereas access to quality emergency care dramatically improves the survival and recovery rate of those who experience sudden illnesses or injury, and whereas emergency medical services has grown to fill a gap by providing important out-of-hospital care, including preventative medicine, follow-up care, and access to telemedicine. And whereas the emergency medical services system consists of first responders, firefighters, emergency medical technicians, paramedics, emergency medical dispatchers, police officers, emergency nurses, emergency physicians, trained members of the public, and other out-of-hospital medical care providers. And whereas the members of Davie Fire Rescue engage in hundreds of hours of specialized training and continuing education to enhance their life-saving skills. And whereas the town of Davie recognizes May 18, 2022 as Emergency Medical Services for Children EMSC Day as part of National EMS Week, and urge all citizens and healthcare professionals serving the pediatric population to celebrate the EMS Strong theme, Rising to the Challenge. To become familiar with EMSC, its programs and activities in our state and nationally, to support and participate in educational and outreach programs to increase their knowledge of best pediatric medical care practices. And whereas it is appropriate to recognize the value and the accomplishments of emergency medical services providers by designating Emergency Medical Services Week and Emergency Medical Services for Children's Day. Now therefore it be it proclaimed that the mayor and the town council of the town of Davie do hereby proclaim the week of May 15th through 21st, 2022 as Emergency Medical Services Week. With the EMS Strong theme, ESM Week, Rising to the Challenge, I encourage the community to observe this week with appropriate programs, ceremonies, and activities.
Thank you, Vice Mayor.
Thank you.
I'd like to say a few words, I'm sure.
Very brief. Mayor, Town Council, Town Administration, everyone in attendance tonight, I am honored to be here tonight and to receive the proclamation on behalf of our frontline fire rescue personnel for EMS Week. I'm Assistant Chief Dana Moran, and I have with me tonight Battalion Chief Romney Benham of EMS, and I have Rescue 68, Firefighter Adam Allen, and Firefighter Javier Farinas. I'm incredibly proud of the care that our personnel provide every day. It is not just an opinion or belief that the best care possible is provided, but it is proven through a rigorous continuous quality improvement program. They truly provide the best care to our residents and our visitors, which is a credit to the support that we receive from all of you. The education, training, and equipment that we are entrusted with all contributes to the care being provided in the field. The department has been recognized for the EMS care provided by the American Heart Association Mission Lifeline Program, receiving the Gold Plus Award, by the International Association of Fire Chiefs Heart Safe Community Award, and by the Florida Department of Health for several recent awards. To say I am proud of the men and women of Davie Fire Rescue is an understatement, and this EMS week in particular, we honor them. I sincerely appreciate the council for allowing this opportunity to recognize our personnel, and thank you for your time.
Thank you. And I was going to do this in my comments, but I'll mention it now. We got an email from a gentleman who uses your services a little more than regularly in the Oak Hill area, and he's always been very, very complimentary of your service, the quick response, and he sent that letter in hopes that it would go into the files of the individuals that serviced him. So we're always proud when we get the residents calling us or writing to us and telling us how much they appreciate what a great job our EMS teams do. Thank you.
For that, Mayor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Could I have a motion to approve number 2, National Public Works Week?
Motion to approve number 2, National Public Works Week.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That's unanimous. Accepting this will be our Public Works Director and Assistant Director, and Mr. Councilmember Lewis will be reading this and introducing the rest of the Public Works team that is here.
They're all here tonight.
Let me introduce those from Public Works that are here. There's Danielle Stallone, Jasmine Carter, Corone Spence, Reynaldo Edwards, Christina Garcia Marquez, Kosivi Acer Koku, I hope I said that correctly, and Jerry Diaz.
And, of course, Osdell and
Osdell.
Dietrich are,
Would you introduce them?
yes.
Whereas Public Works professionals focus on infrastructure, facilities, and services that are of vital importance to sustainable and resilient communities and to the public health, high quality of life, and well-being of the people of the town of Davie. Whereas these infrastructures, facilities, and services could not be provided without the dedicated efforts of Public Works professionals who are engineers, managers, and employees from state and local governments in the private sector who are responsible for rebuilding, improving, and protecting our nation's transportation, water supply, water treatment, and solid waste systems, public buildings, and other structures and facilities essentials to our citizens. And whereas it is in the public interest for the citizens, civic leaders, and children in the town of Davie to gain knowledge of and to maintain a progressive interest and understanding of the importance of public works and public works programs in the respective communities. And whereas the American Public Works Association has celebrated the annual National Public Works Week since 1960, and whereas this year's theme, Ready and Resilient, showcases the superheroes that lie within each and every Public Works professional. Public Works is always ready to serve their communities, and they are as resilient as ever in their abilities to pick themselves up off the ground after encountering challenges. Now therefore be it proclaimed that the mayor and the town council of the town of Davie do you hereby proclaim the week of May 15th through the 21st, 22 as National Public Works Week. Thank you.
Yay.
Thank you so much. Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, council members, administration, members of the public. I gotta tell you, I'm extremely proud of our team. You have a great team in the Public Works Department. They do work very hard every day to take care of the residents. And it's unbelievable all the things that they do. And sometimes they go through a lot of personal challenges, and they still show up to work and take care of the residents and keep a smiling face while they're serving the public. So thank you to all of you for all the support, and thank you to the town council and administration for all the support that you provide.
Mayor, can I say
Pleasure.
something when you're done? May I say
Yes.
something? The person we spoke about when we were on break, is that person here?
No, you're
Okay.
talking about Natasha.
Yeah.
She's our stormwater coordinator. She couldn't be here.
My neighbor, I just want to speak, she's also a member of your team, but she, my neighbor came specifically to tell me what a wonderful job she did when she came out and cleared that drain that was overflowing. So please extend my thanks to her.
I will.
And you guys too.
And
You're
this is
great.
only a small representation of our
That's well,
department.
Yeah, I can imagine they did the whole department. Oh, goodness. Thank you. That's Danny's daughter, isn't it, the black, the white headband? Yeah. I think so. Oh, one of them is Stallone.
A little bit of crowd management over there. Okay, while they're doing that, may I have a motion to approve number 3, water safety month?
Motion to approve number 3, water safety.
Second?
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That's unanimous, thank you. Number 3, proclamation is Water Safety Month. It'll be read by Councilmember Starkey, and Ian Forrest from Fitness and Aquatics Coordinator, and a few other members of the team are coming forward to accept the proclamation. Susan?
Thank you very much, Mayor. Yes, whereas the town of Davie recognizes the vital role that swimming and aquatics-related activities play in ensuring good physical and mental health, as well as enhancing the quality of life for all. And whereas the town of Davie acknowledges the essential role that water safety education contributes to the prevention of drowning and recreational water-related injuries. And whereas the month of May is recognized as National Water Safety Month through an annual awareness campaign coordinated by the Pool and Hot Tub Alliance with support from the American Red Cross, National Recreation and Parks Association, and the World Water Park Association. And whereas residents of the town of Davie recognize the ongoing efforts and commitments to educate the public on safety in and around water, and whereas the aquatics program in the town of Davie encompasses a multitude of activities which include water safety education that can result in personal accomplishments, self-satisfaction, and family unity for all citizens, regardless of their background, ability level, or age. And whereas the town of Davie is extremely proud of their award-winning aquatics facility, Pine Island Park Pool, Betty Booth Roberts Park Pool, and the Shenandoah Splash Pad, as well as the aquatics program adopted for our community, and contributions in providing to all ages a place to recreate, learn to swim, build self-esteem, confidence, and the sense of self-worth, contributes to the quality of life in our community. Now therefore be it proclaimed that the mayor and the town council of the town of Davie do hereby proclaim the month of May 2022 as Water Safety Month. Congratulations.
Thank you. Good evening, Madam Mayor and council members. On behalf of the Fitness and Aquatics Division, we graciously thank you for this opportunity. My name is Ian Force, Fitness and Aquatics Coordinator. I'm accompanied by Jeremy Garcia, Operations Supervisor, and the rest of our admin team. Water Safety Month serves as a great reminder towards providing quality instruction with an emphasis on keeping individuals safe in and around bodies of water. We at the Fitness and Aquatic Division provide year-round swim lessons focused on teaching individuals between the ages of 6 months to adults water safety and wellness. So we thank you, and we, again, we're super appreciative. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
As they say, safer by 4.
Thank you.
Okay. We're up to appointments. Does anybody have an appointment? Susan?
Mayor, we have to do item number 12 on the public hearing. We have 12 and 13 on public hearing.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I thought Sunshine had taken up all of the, thank you for keeping me on track. All right, we're not finished with public here. Number 12 is a budget amendment. Mr. Sherwin, would you read the ordinance by title, please?
Yes, Mayor. An ordinance of the Town of Davie, Florida, authorizing the Second Amendment to the fiscal year 2022 budget, providing for conflict, providing for severability, and providing for an effective date.
Thank you very much. This is a public hearing. If there's anybody who wishes to speak for or against, you may come forward at this time. Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Any questions or comments by council?
No, ma'am.
Seeing none, we'll call for a motion to approve budget amendment.
Motion to approve number 12 budget amendment.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Vice Mayor Whitman? Yes. Mayor Paul?
Yes.
Councilmember Starkey?
Yes.
Councilmember Hatton?
Yes.
Councilmember Lewis?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you very much. Now we're finished with vote.
No.
One more.
One more.
Number
Another one?
13.
13. It's on the page, 13.
Darn.
Rezoning.
I'm not in a hurry, am I? What's number 13? Ah,
Mm-hmm.
now I know why there are people here. I was wondering. Okay. Never mind. Number 13 is a rezoning. Mr. Sherman, would you read the ordinance ordinance by title, please?
And a quasi-judicial hearing has been waived, Mayor.
Okay, thank you.
An ordinance of the Town of Davie, Florida approving rezoning application ZB 21-098 Bristol Reserve, changing the zoning designation of certain lands within the Town of Davie from agriculture AG district and agricultural A-1 district to open space design overlay, amending the town zoning map to comply therewith, providing for conflict, providing for severability, and providing for an effective date.
Thank you. This requires a supermajority. Since it's been waived, I can ask if there's any member of the public who wishes to speak for or against this item. Oh,
Mr. Gregg.
hello.
Hi.
Hello. My name is Linda Greck, and tonight I'm here representing the Davie Area Land Trust. I'm the vice chair of the Land Trust. And I just am here to express the appreciation of myself, certainly the Land Trust, for being able to work with the town of Davie and this developer in support of the open space overlay. Very perfect illustration of the reason that we are here, the Land Trust, as an independent organization to work with the town to hold a conservation easement that is contiguous, as with the help of the town of Davie. It connects to the existing trail system. It allows the public, it allows our recreational users in the town of Davie to not to have a break in the trail system, and it allows a developer to work with the town to achieve its own goals and also provide a benefit to the town and its residents and visitors to the town who come here specifically for our open space trail system, which, as the council knows, I hope most of the public knows, goes from every far reach of the town, east, west, north, south, and somebody could be on the trail system all day, stopping in the parks. And that system has been, with the support of the town and the promotion of the town, to be protected into perpetuity. And that's one of the things that will make Davie special forever after. So I'm here just to applaud the town council for having the foresight many, many years ago to set up the open space program to help us establish this land trust so that we can all work together, and it's just a perfect illustration of a win-win-win. It couldn't be any better. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Is there anyone else who would like to speak for or against? Okay, seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Is there any questions or comments?
No, ma'am.
Jeff, I think Ms. Greck said it all. Thank you. Can we have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve number 13 rezoning.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Hatton?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Whitman?
Yes.
Councilmember Lewis?
Yes.
Councilmember Starkey?
Yes.
Mayor Paul?
Yes,
Motion passes.
thank you. Okay, anything else that I skipped? I'm like, yeah, it's one of those days. Can I safely say we're now going on to? Oh, God. It's a good thing you're watching over me. Okay, committee appointments. Susan, you had your hand up.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. It's with my pleasure to appoint to our Agriculture and Environmental Advisory Board, Jessie Bastos. She's here in the front row joining us today. She's been attending several of the meetings in the past 6 months, I would say, and she also, and I was able to visit her own personal garden that her and Frank, that I've known Frank for many years, have been able to put together in their backyard into Davie home. So I think she will be a wonderful addition, and I don't think we need a vote on this, but she will be my appointment. I just wanted you to know who she is, and
Yeah, I'm glad because she's been wanting to get involved and has been
Yes.
talking about being on a board for some time, so I'm happy for you.
She'll be a good fit.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you, Jesse.
Okay, that's Susan's. Do we vote on that? No, you don't need to vote on that. The only ones we vote on, I think, are planning and zoning, yeah. Okay, number 19, aha! Florida League of Cities designation of voting delegates. Do I have a motion to approve Susan Starkey for that?
Motion to approve, go ahead, Marla, I'm sorry.
And we all second it.
Second, third, fourth.
I don't think, was that needed?
No. Yeah.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
That's unanimous.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Okay, no old business, but we do have some new business. Who's going to give the lead? Susan, you want to do this? You have a-
Yes, thank you, Mayor. This item you may or may not be familiar with. Some of you I know are familiar with this, and this has come back before us once before, and it has to do with the bigger trucks, they call it. And these aren't just big trucks, these are the biggest trucks that have been coming our way and kind of destroying the infrastructure of our roads and causing all kinds of accidents and so forth throughout the Northeast. There's a lot of numbers of really, really hazardous driving. And what I'm asking this time is either we place it on agenda in the future for a proclamation or authorize the mayor to write the letter to Senator Rubio and Senator Scott and our Debbie Wasserman Rubin, our congresswoman, and the other, Wasserman Schultz, sorry, to try to bring this again to their attention because it's coming back in front of Congress. Once again, the industry is trying to add these bigger trucks to our roads. Sometimes they already are in some areas, and some are not allowing it. As you know, we have I-95, 75, 441. You can only imagine how big some of these bigger trucks are. We've included a lot of this information in your backup for you, and I would just hope to get your support today. With your support today, not only for the letter, but possibly by a resolution that we could pass, I will bring it to the Florida League of Cities Resolutions Committee and ask that we too, Florida League, pass resolutions on this one. And then again, it goes to the National League of Cities. The National League of Cities historically over the years has been supportive of banning these bigger trucks. So I know that this is something that has, if you drive, and now they're licensing 16-year-olds to drive big rigs, you can only imagine these 16-year-olds eventually getting behind these bigger rigs, which are basically tandem big rigs and just huge, huge. Not just, they're, 8-axle road, big trucks. So I know that we, had this on there in our past agendas. So I'm asking again that we include this and include it in our legislative package, as well as the letters the mayor can sign.
Okay, do you have documentation of the backup, the 16-year-olds are driving trucks?
16-year-olds, it's been all over the news, that the 16 years old are being taught how to drive trucks. Yes, ma'am. Yep, Google it, as they say. Ask Siri.
Well, I just, there was just an accident today, and it looked to me like it was an oversized truck because it had the soft sides, excuse me, that shut down the turnpike.
Yes.
Most of the day. But at this particular time, I think we need to go over all the details and so forth. And I have no problem with doing a letter, which we can work on.
I've
And-
included the letter samples in the backup of your
Yeah,
agenda.
I
And
know,
I
but
also
like I
included
said,
all
we
the
need-
backup from previous.
Yeah, we want to look at the backup and again, and, make sure that we've got everything in order. And I'm thinking that once we have that letter together, I could also pass it on to the Conference of Mayors.
It's in your backup. Do you want to then just have it sent, placed on the next future agenda?
No, what we'll do is, when we get the letter ready, we'll bring it on under my comments even, the way I've done before, and have everybody approve it, and then I'll just, if you want to sign it, we can all sign it.
Mr. Lemack has included the letters in the backup for today's meeting. It's in your backup.
I know, but
So
I
I
would
don't know
like
what
to
more-
discuss it with him.
Oh,
We'll get it, don't worry. We're gonna work on it.
okay. I mean, we can ask council if they want to go forward with it today. I mean, I don't see what the second meetings.
It's not,
Yeah.
the next time it comes to council, it comes in the form of a letter.
The letter's here. It's been in your backup.
But it's not the letter from us.
Yes, it is.
It's a
This-
sample.
I've even printed them. If you want to see them, they're from the backup. Every one of them. We wanted to make it easy for you.
Yeah.
How does the DOT feel about this? Have they come out with any statement, these truckers get charged, do they have to pay fees, for the use of the roads and such? I'm sure there's effects that are gonna happen. People start, and to 16-year-olds driving, that one just floors me. I mean, so I'm personally, I would rather do a little more investigating, a little more thing, and it's not going anywhere, so I think we have time to do it at another meeting, so that's thank you, Mayor.
You want to repeat and put everything back on the next meeting, Mr. Lemack? Yeah?
Yeah, I was just saying.
Everything that we put on this meeting, just
It
put
doesn't
it on
have
the
to
next
be everything.
meeting.
We can complete the letter, redo the letter, or let me look at the letters again and maybe just tweak them a little bit if it needs to be. And then we'll put the letter on the next agenda. We're meeting again before the summer's up, right? We've got a meeting on June 8th. Is there a meeting of the league before that you're in a rush?
No, we have our annual meeting coming up, so we'd like to,
When
there's a
is that?
deadline for the Broward League of.
When is that?
We are there in August, but we have to, what's the deadline for us to submit any resolutions? We just got that information today. I don't want to say off the top of my head, but I do believe it's in the beginning of June that we need to get that to the league. So we may have one meeting before the resolutions.
Yeah, I have to look it back up.
Yeah, I have to look at that. We have
All right.
it.
If there's no objection, we will put this on the next agenda. Huh? June 8th. And if the deadline is prior to that, we can make an initial statement that we will be putting said item on the League of Cities agenda, resolution agenda.
Yeah, because, we were asked for the Florida League of Cities to submit any resolutions before and in advance. Hold on, I might have it.
It's July 5th. By
That's the
July-
deadline? Okay.
July 5th.
We have
Fine
plenty
then.
of time
We're
then.
fine.
All
Okay,
right.
we'll do it at the next
Maybe you
meeting.
guys will get a chance to read it all.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So there's no objection to bringing that back at the next meeting? Okay, good. Now, Mr. Lemack just put that on our meeting to just go over it together. So we have our schedule of our next event, and after June 8th, we have a little break. And then we've got Maren. And I'm going to start my comments by following up. This is how we do it. Broward County Transit is requesting the town to provide a letter of support addressed to Secretary of Transportation Buttigieg for their application for the low or no emissions grant program. The grant will allow the county to expand their electric bus program with the addition of 15 electric buses and the installation of associated charging infrastructure. This is a benefit to the town of Davie, as the electric buses will be utilized on Route 9, which includes service to the town's South Florida Education Center. And if there are no objections from council, I would like to sign the letter of support to be sent to the Secretary of Transportation supporting Broward County's grant application.
So are you going to give us a letter and put it on the next agenda? So we can read it?
I have it right here. I just explained what it was for the, what do you call it? When does this have to be in, Mr. Lemack?
I'll have to look that back up, Mayor.
What?
I'll have to look it back up. I don't have it in front of me right now.
Okay.
So maybe you can put it on the same agenda that we're going to listen to the other one. That would be my suggestion if
Yes,
you're-
and I agree. I see where you're going.
Okay, thank you.
But if the deadline is prior to that, if you would like to read the letter, I'll hand it to you right now. And just in case the deadline is earlier, as I said before, it's a substantial amount of money. And since we've been talking about sustainability and electric infrastructure, and this would be for the electric bus program. Is there anybody else that disagrees? I would have the votes anyway, so I'll let her read that just in case. Okay, the next thing. Yes.
Your mic's off, David.
Dave Quigley, Planning and Zoning Manager. I just seen the backup email that May 24th was the deadline to receive the letter for that grant application.
Oh, May 24th?
That's what it
That's
says.
next week, so we need to take action. Okay? All right, we have approval then, okay. So that was a time constraint then, thank you. June 8th, our next meeting is the Western High School graduation. Unfortunately, we will not be able to attend as we usually have. We also, or I also missed the awards assembly. They forgot to send me an invitation. So, but as it turned out, we had not had picked the recipient for my scholarship yet. We got a little laid up this year, and the information went out late, and the cutoff date was kind of late. So whoever the person is or persons who receive, we're going to be inviting to the June 28th if they haven't already left for college. Otherwise, I'll do something special for them at some point. We've also gotten an invitation for the graduation for College Academy at the Performing Arts Center, and I know you like to go, so I'll have Grace, I didn't write it down, but I'll have Grace share it with you and the rest of the council if anybody wants to go. And we were also invited to a program right at Broward College celebrating the 20th anniversary of College Academy. And it'll be right here in Davie, and I'll have her send you out that information as well. Chamber luncheon yesterday was very nice, a small, intimate group at Robbins Lodge, so we always have a nice time there. Wanted to thank the police department again for their great work in locating the young lady that was missing in Oak Hill yesterday for, as I understand, more than 24 hours. So that had a happy ending to it. I know we had a lot of activity out in Oak Hill. When I left, there was a police officer on my street, and I spoke with him early on. He explained to me what was happening. I was on my way to the luncheon. When I came back, I saw the mounted patrol trailer, so I kind of drove up and down the streets looking for them and found them. And they had been searching the trails and some of the wooded areas around that. Oh, okay, I got you. So I just wanted to thank them again for that. The other thing I already took care of. I have one more item that I would like to talk to you about. I probably should have put it on new business because it might provoke a little bit of discussion. You know, as you know, the Morse property, which is located at Flamingo Road and Orange Drive, is under contract. And should the development proceed or another future development The farmers on the property will at some point be displaced with no identified location to harvest their crops. As you'll recall, we had a similar issue at Davie Wetlands Park when the farmers were displaced there, but the town was able to relocate them temporarily to the Ivanhoe area on the open space north of the Cinemac theaters. With the town's commitment to our agricultural roots, I have a thought that I'd like to present to council for some consideration that will provide some permanency for these farmers and others to have a place to grow and harvest their products. My thought was to dedicate approximately 20 acres of Robbins Park for farming agriculture. Robbins is comprised of 160 acres, and we have a successful but small community gardens program on site. The acreage would not interfere with any of the current park activities, as it would have been limited use as a pasture. And I believe that the animals that are on there now, because the animal population has been dwindling, that those animals can be coordinated with the other pasture, and they can all be put into one other area, and that can be relocated without any problem. And, I'd like to open this up for some discussion. If you all concur, I'd like to direct Mr. Robbins to bring back a plan for us to consider to allow farming on Robbins Park. I know we had also talked about the idea at some point of maybe giving them some area at the farm park.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, but that's a ways off too. And that brings some other additional issues in relationship to our grant that we got. And it might need some time to get that approved from the grant, the land trust.
Well, some of that grant money was from,
The Farm Bureau, $20,000.
but that was on the first part, because when we have a second part we purchased.
Mayor, this is Rick. I'm a little confused. So we're talking about Robbins.
We're talking about Robbins. I'm saying that the thought had been brought up about the farm park, but that's too many years in the future.
Oh, okay, right, I don't think that's a path that we could go down for a number of design
That's what-
features and elements. I
right,
just wanted, okay,
right.
thank you.
I think that's a good, I think that's a
Is
good
there any
idea.
problem with asking Mr. Lemack to bring us something back?
no, that's what I'm saying. I think it's a very good idea.
Okay.
It approaches many different sides of this event
Yeah,
that
okay.
needs to be done.
Okay, Susan?
Yeah, I agree. I think it's an excellent idea. I know that prior to Phil leaving, he did discuss with me some options that might be available, and he and I also talked about the fact that maybe Robbins or a farm park, so in the future, I think that would be an excellent idea, and, utilizing that. I know Lauderdale Lakes, and is it Lauderhill? They have a complete, the mayor has, yeah, they have a complete farming within their town that they run themselves.
Yeah, I know.
And it's such a nice thing to do. And they have those that are less fortunate, they donate a lot of the crops to them. So maybe we can come back with a really nice plan. I think that the Agriculture Advisory Board would be probably very good to discuss some of the options and the way we could go about doing it, since they're excited about keeping this farmer who's been there for so long in the town. So I think coming up with a plan like this would be excellent, and exactly what we're supposed to be all about.
Was that Beverly Williams was the?
Yes,
Yeah,
Beverly
the mayor, the
Beverly
former
Yeah.
Williams is the
Right.
one who
Yeah.
farmed it in the city.
She didn't look like.
Okay, so I have unanimous
Yep, I
agreement
know.
on that, so
She
you can
does a
go
great
ahead and
Yeah.
put something together for us. Okay, we appreciate that. That's everything from me. Vice Mayor?
Thank you, Mayor. The District 1 Community Forum is scheduled for Thursday, May 25th at the Sunny Lake Bird Sanctuary. The meeting will begin promptly at 6:30 p.m. and will cover a variety of town-wide and district-specified topics. I am quite excited to have the meeting at Sunny Lake, since it is the first time we'll be using the facility for a community event since it has been nicely renovated. The town's public art master plan workshops are ongoing. So far, we've had 2 meetings, and the one is scheduled for Monday, May 23rd, right here at the Multipurpose Center. The meeting is a part of the Planning and Zoning Board meeting and will begin at 6:30 p.m. This is the ideal opportunity for the community to provide their feedback on the program and get their questions answered. We are a little over 2 weeks away from the official start of the 2022 hurricane season. This occurs June 1st through November 30th each year. Please start preparing as the officials have predicted an active season. To help with your preparation, a 14-day disaster preparationist sales tax holiday will take place from May 28 through June 10, 2022 for supplies such as flashlights, radios, tarps, batteries, and fire extinguishers. Your preparation should also include registering for the various assistant programs that are available if they apply to you. Please do not wait until the appointed time to get everything in place. Plan ahead. Thank you, Mayor. That's all for me.
Thank you. Mr. Lewis?
Thank you, Mayor. The city's Sunrise is switching to a chlorine disinfection starting on Monday, May 23rd. This will only impact those who receive their water from the city's Sunrise, which is a huge part of District 4, but this process is anticipated to be completed by June 20th. This is a routine procedure, although you might notice a slight change in the taste, odor, or color of your water. I also want to remind everyone in District 4 that we're having our final community forum next Thursday, May 26th at 6:30 p.m. at the Shenandoah Community Center. This is a great way to have one-on-one dialogue with our town administrator and staff. I will be there, and I look forward to seeing everyone there. Thank you, Mayor.
Ms. Hatton?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I don't have too much, but I just, again, want to thank the staff that put together my forum for my district, District 2. It was wonderful. It was impeccable. People learned, I learned a lot, to tell you the truth. There was things I learned, like about the police department with the things that we send up, and the new equipment that we have. It's amazing. So thank you very much for that, Chief, and everybody that participated. Thank you so much. It was really well accepted. And I also have a second one. I'm very fortunate. I'm going to have a second one. It will be here at Pine Island Park, right here, and on next Tuesday, I believe, if I have that right. Next Tuesday at 6:30. So if you have anybody that lives in District 2 and wants to know what's going on with the town and our future, encourage them to please come and listen to everybody, because you get the whole shebang. It's amazing, and to find out what's going on, what we've done, what we're going to do, is really interesting and exciting. What's coming up in our town. So I'd like to thank Mr. Lemack and all the staff for doing what they did, and Jeff for putting it all together. And I walked out and saw the big truck, and I realized it was all that equipment that you guys had to bring over there. So thank you so much. Who are you pointing at? Oh, Fiona Leona. Well, that's a given.
It's
I mean, what would we
everybody.
do without Leona? So
Everybody.
thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So, and I've been attending the MPO meetings, Mayor, and I find it pretty interesting. And so thank you for allowing me to have that position. It's interesting. So that's about all I have. Thank you very much.
Ms. Starkey?
Thank you. Yes, I had the privilege of attending the Agriculture and Environmental Advisory Committee, and my interest then was their discussion on the Public Art Master Plan, which we've been working on. And I want to thank David Quigley and his staff, Lacey, and everyone and Parks and Rec. They've done an amazing job. Jeff, thank you, for putting that together with our consultant, Laura. We've given them a lot of good suggestions over the years, so it's nice to share it with the other committees and get their input as well. And I was really excited to see that there was an interest in that there as well. And I wanted to share our enthusiasm with the committee on how much we look forward to working with the public on trying to come up with public art and moving forward. So that was kind of good to attend as well. I want to thank staff. They did an excellent job on a letter that was written to Long Lake Ranches you all were copied on. But it seems to be a problem with the water and sewer lines, and when they have issue with the connection between the laterals and so forth. And I just want to know that our staff, always, I'm getting so many compliments on staff and how well they go out of their way to try to help them through whatever crisis. Even though it may not be our responsibility, they still go out of their way to try to at least advise them or try to help them in whatever way they can. And that does not go unnoticed. So I want to thank everybody for the help and assistance on that project too. Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz will be hosting a virtual Jewish American Heritage Month, Anti-Semitism and Racism Through the Arts is what it's called. And it's going to be a Zoom meeting. They have a few people that will be providing a historical perspective as well as through an artistic perspective. And it should be quite interesting. And they also have some really good speakers lined up. So if you're interested in learning more, it's a Zoom meeting on May 23rd at 6 p.m. and that's next Monday. So I think if you need more information, please visit the Davie website for additional information. Hopefully we can get it out there and put it up there for anybody who's interested in the Zoom.
Yeah, because pre-registration is
You have to
required
correct.
to get the invitation to, I've already registered for it, so I'm going to be doing it.
Correct. And the next is the District 3 Forum, which will be held tomorrow night here at Pine Island, Bamford at 6:30. And I look forward to everyone in District 3. And if you can't make the District 3 and you're in District 3, you can attend any of the other ones in District 1 or 2, whatever time's convenience for you. We will try to answer any and all of your questions. Staff has been attending every one of our forums, and I try to attend them when I can as well, even if it isn't my district, because I think it's important to show everyone that we support everyone in the town. So thank you, and that's all for me tonight.
Thank you very much. Mr. Lemack.
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, I have a few things tonight, but just to springboard off while you're talking about the district forums. Once we complete all the presentations through the community, we'll be posting the presentation online, so folks will be able to pull it up and view it on their own, so they can contact you to be able to discuss further. I have a few presentations tonight. I'm glad that Jeff recognized Leona, so she always does so well, so I just want to say that. But Jeff, if I can call Jeff up, there's 3 events that we'd like to talk about tonight. Jeff's going to take you through Memorial Day, Take a Kid Fishing, and our July 4th festivities, which is really only around the corner. Thank you, Jeff.
Where's the year going?
Thank you. Sorry. Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Town Council, Administration, staff, and public. Jeff Pullman, Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Arts. First, let me say I appreciate the shout-outs for Parks and Recreation. I have some family watching from home, so I just want to say thank you for that. So, yeah, she's 2, and we have some in-laws in town as well, so I just want to say I appreciate that they got to see that. But it truly is a team effort on all the projects that we're talking about, community forums and everything else, and we do have a great team here in Davie. So as Mr. Lemack said, tonight I want to provide a brief update on a few upcoming special events. The Town of Davie annually partners with the South Florida Boy Scout Council to host a Memorial Day parade and ceremony. This year's event will be held on Monday, May 30th, beginning at 10:15 a.m. The parade stages and steps off from our Fire and Public Works Administration Building located at 6901 Orange Drive and concludes at the Davie Arena at the Bergeron Rodeo Grounds located at 4201 Rodeo Way. Spectators are encouraged to arrive by 10 a.m. and view the parade from Orange Drive or Rodeo Way. Parking is available at the rodeo grounds. The ceremony to remember and honor our fallen heroes will begin immediately following the parade in the covered arena there at the rodeo grounds. This year's honorary guest speaker is Colonel James P. Marshall, U.S. Army retired, who served as a professional soldier in the United States Army for over 24 years, attaining the rank of colonel. He is a graduate of the United States Military Academy at West Point and holds a Master of Arts degree from the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. Following his retirement from the Army, he's honored to continue to serve his country in the FBI's Miami field office. So he'll be a great guest speaker for us at that event. And we'll be in touch with you next week about transportation in the parade as well as parking, so look forward to that. The annual Take a Kid Fishing Rodeo returns to the Davie Golf Course on Saturday, June 4th from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. This event is open for children ages 5 to 12 years old. The cost is $10 per child, which includes lunch, a t-shirt, and bait. We do ask everyone to pre-register the event through our webpage. There is a QR code included on all of our marketing materials. We will allow registration if we're not at capacity for that event on site, but we do ask everybody to pre-register, and you may recognize one of our participants there from last year, Mr. Lewis's daughter, who I believe won first place, if I'm not mistaken, a couple years ago. Yes, she is. So Independence Day and Fun on the 4th. It's hard to believe that it's that time of year again to celebrate our Independence Day. Our plan is to continue the success of last year with a resident-focused event again here at Bamford Sports Complex. The annual Independence Day Fun on the 4th event will take place again at Bamford Sports Complex on Monday, July 4th from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. with gates opening to pre-registered attendees at 5 o'clock p.m. As mentioned, this event is focused for Davie residents, and we are allowing Davie resident-only attendance again this year. We do encourage pre-registration through our web track system or in person here at the Pine Island Multi-Purpose Center. In order to prioritize our Davie residents' participation and ensure ample on-site parking for our residents, we do ask everyone to pre-register to receive a ticket prior to the event. Residents who do walk up or bike to the event are also encouraged to pre-register. However, we will not turn any residents away who do not. But as mentioned, it is strongly recommended to allow us to plan appropriately and coordinate with our logistical efforts for the on-site event. Davie residents may pre-register in person at the Pine Island Multi-Purpose Center or online. Anyone who registered for the event last year can reuse their same username and password, and we will also directly email everybody who registered last year, as well as everybody in our database to help spread the word. They can also visit the Pine Island Multi-Purpose Center here or receive their unique username by calling 954-327-3941. One ticket will be granted per household. Individual tickets will be emailed to everyone prior to the event, and upon entry, one ticket will be collected per car. So you don't have to register everybody in your house, but just one ticket per car along with your Davie ID, and you'll be granted access. Pre-registration, as I mentioned, also assists with our logistical planning. And in the case of a rainout, we can directly email everybody to notify them prior to arriving at the park, as well as the rescheduled date of July 5th in case we do experience any inclement weather. Activities for the day include live music. We are finalizing contracts with a few different bands, and we'll release those names as soon as those contracts are signed. Children's activities, including petting farms, bounce houses, and other attractions, as well as tailgate games. We'll have arts and craft vendors and food trucks on site as well. The night will conclude with the best fireworks show in Broward, as we like to say here in Davie. And as mentioned, gates will open at 5 p.m. For those pre-registered guests. I just want to mention that as they have in the past, the Davie Police Department will be placing signs throughout the town reminding residents to be mindful of livestock while using fireworks, as well as how to report unlawful fireworks through their dedicated hotline number, which is listed here on the screen. The hotline will be operational from 7 p.m. on July 2nd to 7 a.m. on July 5th. Depicted is the notices that will be distributed throughout the town, as well as on social media outlets and through the PIO office. And they will have, like previous years, a fireworks response team in place from 8 p.m. on July 4th to 3 a.m. the following day. And Chief Kinsey is here if there's any questions or to provide further detail on that. But with that, I'd just like to say thank you, and if you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Thank you very much, as usual, very complete. Any questions?
Jeff, would you be interested in the book dispense like we did at the Orange thing?
With the reading for the children?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The free book.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, we can definitely have
Get
a
in
spot
touch
for
with her.
them.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, if you want to have them reach out to myself or Jennifer or Simone, that'd be great.
Thank you very much.
Perfect.
I have a question.
Yes.
Your mic on?
I know you said Davie residents. What about town employees? Does that exclude them because they're not a resident?
No, we can be happy to invite town employees as well for all the hard work they do here in the town of Davie.
Thank you.
Absolutely. All right. And family, of course. We're only checking one ID in the car with the ticket, so yes.
Anything else? Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
Thank you, Mayor. One more presentation. I'm going to ask Osdell to come up from Public Works, and while I'm doing that, I know the town clerk's going to distribute something for you that we've been working on for quite some time, and I'll have Osdell explain it to you, but it's regarding a new guide we've put out there. It's called Tree Care Guide, and I'll have Osdell take us through that. Thank you.
Good evening again, Mayor, Vice Mayor, Town Council, Administration, and residents. As I had informed you at a previous council meeting, I don't know if you remember, there was a question about the celebration of Arbor Day. I inform you that due to COVID-19, this year we did not include a tree planting event at a local school to celebrate National Arbor Day. Instead, we prepared a tree care guide to provide relevant tree information to residents. This tree care guide is one of the initiatives that will help the town maintain the Tree City USA designation. I would like to highlight that due to the continued commitment and support by the Town Council and Administration to preserve and enhance the town's tree canopy, the town has been designated as a Tree City USA since 1989. If you do the math, it's 33 years. I now would like to point out some relevant information contained in the tree care guide. And again, talking about barcodes, the barcodes take you to the planning and zoning webpage under the landscape information. And here is just a screenshot of the page that it takes you to when you scan the barcode. And this page, residents can download and review other relevant tree information, permitting as it pertains to trees and things like that. Also tree care in preparation for a hurricane season. In these sections, you can find relevant tree information, and I'm talking now about the other side of the brochure, or the tree care guide, to include town contact information related to permits. We also added a disclosure that residents living within the restricted community may have additional landscape regulations enforced by the Homeowners Association. To finalize, I would like to note that this will be a living document that will be updated from time to time to reflect the latest standards and regulations impacting tree care. Thank you.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Of
Hello?
course.
Yeah, I'm on. I was just quickly noticing it said, following a tree removal, individuals are encouraged to plant a new tree nearby. Is it not part of our code that we have to get approval to remove trees before we plant new ones, or is that not?
It depends. It depends. You could have, for example, an invasive tree. So that wouldn't fall in that category, and that's what we provide information related to tree removal permit and the contact information through the code department, so they can request the required permits, and part of the permit will be to basically require the replacement of the canopy. Sometimes replacing a tree is not just replacing one for another one. You're replacing the canopy, and there's a certain calculation that takes place. So it may be more than one tree replacing a mature tree.
Yeah, but I know, especially, I spoke to you before, about in my neighborhood, people are just taking trees down. They have no idea that they need a permit or anything. And I'm not going to just say, you need a permit to take that tree down.
Yeah, and this is part of this initiative, is to educate the residents.
Right,
A lot
okay.
of the residents don't know. They
Yeah.
don't understand the benefits of having trees, and that's what we provide in this tree care guide.
Okay, I like it. It's very nice. Thank you, Estelle.
Mayor?
Yes.
Yeah, also the legislation just passed this year, as well as 2 years ago, with additional, restrictions prohibiting cities from allowing or requiring people to not only get a permit, but also requiring them to replace a tree. but then that was kind of somewhat modified this year in legislation. So we need to make sure that whatever we're putting out here is current and accurate, and that it reflects that on any of the brochures, and especially on the QR codes for the question and answers. And I want to thank you, because this is going to save me a lot of conversation.
Yeah, and if, my last comment when I was presenting was that this is a living document, and we have included all the latest information and regulations, but as the law changes or some of the practices may change, we will update this document where people can, view it and see the latest information.
How are we going to get this into their hands?
We're going to print a number of copies, and we'll provide them at the town hall. We'll provide them here at the multipurpose center, other town facilities. We'll distribute them at different town events for people to, take a copy. And as I said, the barcode, what I like about the barcode is that it takes you to the planning and zoning department page regarding landscaping. So there's a ton of information that's very helpful in that page. And that's why we decided to put it there rather than put it on the Public Works, where it will be standing by itself.
Well, I was just curious, if
Yeah.
we could stick it in the water bill or something along with the
Oh,
water
I
bill.
think we plan to put it in the Davie update, the next one.
Yeah, that'd be
Good,
good,
and
yeah.
that's important. And also, if you would send me one paragraph blurb on this, I'll put it in my next article for the DRW.
Sounds good. Yeah, we'll do also email blast, and
Yeah,
we'll
but,
do other outreach.
that gets a different audience as well, so.
Thank you. And just to finalize, I just want to thank my staff who helped putting this together. Everybody that was involved through administration and even all the departments, planning and zoning, code. They reviewed the document and provided their feedback. And Suzette, who also helped with the design. I mean, when we first gave the document to her, it didn't look like anything like this. Thank you all.
Look like
Thank
a
you very
third-grade
much. Good job.
project.
Good job. Anything else, Ms. Sullivan?
No, Mayor, that's fine, thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Sherman, do you have anything? Thank you very much. If there are no objections, we're adjourned. Thank you.